time for money. So you're always rushing around, you know, and just earning money. You know, I've got to be into work, get into work at 9 o'clock, you got to leave work at 6 o'clock, you got to get home at whatever time you have your dinner, you got to have some sleep, you got to get up and you got to go to work again. So you're just constantly, it's just Groundhog Day, constantly, and that's the way 96% of people operate. So we got, sorry, I went backwards there for a second. So we got 3% of the population, and they trade money for money. So that's where they go out and they earn money, and then they go off and spend the money. Okay, and then we've got M3, which is 1%, holds 96% of the wealth. But why do they do that? Because they trade time for multiple sources of income. So when I told you earlier about what I do, I have several different businesses, but I never thought I was capable of doing what I'm doing. So when I went around as the unconscious competent,
the middle one you said,
yeah,
trade money for money. That sounded like the same as trading your time for money. Explain what you mean by.
Yeah. So what we have is, so the M1 is time for money. So that's where everybody's rushing around for time, and then you've got people trading money for money. So that'd be like, say, for me, for about 20 years, that's exactly what I was doing. I was out earning lots of money, but I was spending as much as I was earning. So I wasn't doing anything with it because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I was doing. I was unconscious competent, earning lots of it and spending lots of it, and nothing to show for it. So it didn't make sense. And I made a lot of money, but I spent a lot of money as well. But I didn't realise at the time. But it was only in the last 3 years that I've realised the errors of my way. And that was because I was aware that I was working a lot, and I was doing like 16, 18 hours a day, and people say to me, how did you do that? I don't know, but that's exactly what I done. If my family had a funeral, or a wedding, or whatever, confirmations, communions, I'd be out working. And then I would meet them at the venue. That's the way I operate, because that's how important I made money in my life. But it's only now, when I realised, that's about 3 years ago, after I'd done the programme, it's a case of that I realised that when I became aware that I then became multiple source of income. So I stood back from it and realised that, look, when I was growing up, I left school when I was young. So I always felt I was uneducated. And I never went to college. I never done any type of academic exams or anything like that. When I done my group cert, but I won't talk about that. But I always thought that, or I always felt intimidated in a room with somebody that I felt was more intelligent than me. So if I was in a room, even though I'd done all the Bob Proctor and I'd done all the Donald Trump and all that, it was still a case of I still felt intimidated. But that was a problem with me. That was me letting the outside world tell me how I should operate. And it's only, as I said, in the last 3 years I realised that how intelligent I am. And in fact that I was earning more than some of the solicitors that I was meeting. I was earning more an hour than some of what they were doing. But yet I felt intimidated by them, which is ironic. So that's why I'm saying if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I'm a product of the product. I started with nothing and I gained loads on the way. But now I found that I've exploded because of the fact that I do multiple sources of income. So multiple sources of income could be where you join an affiliate program with somebody. So there's lots and lots of things out there. I'll give you an example. I bumped into an Australian guy and he set up a company. So I'm in the coaching sector and we set up, I have websites and then I've got to set up hosting for my websites, then I've got to set up scheduling for booking my appointments, and then I've got to set up, there's about 4 or 5 different aspects of stuff that I set up, but they all cost like $100 or $200 for this or $300. So it was all adding up. This guy in Australia set up a company where everything is on the one. So all his webinars, his hosting, his funnels, his websites, and anybody can do it. So you can log on and just click, and a bit like ClickFunnels, if anyone knows ClickFunnels. Sorry, I'll just turn that off. A bit like ClickFunnels, if anyone knows ClickFunnels, but he's built the whole lot into one. And he charges $89 a month. So he came to me and he said to me, listen, I have this product. And I said, brilliant, I'll take it. I'll do it, yeah. And he goes, no, can you help me out? And I said, what do you want me to do? And he said, can you become an affiliate? And I said, well, how will that work? He says, I will pay you 20% every month for every person you get me. And I went, Jesus, yeah, that's easy. All I have to do is ring some of my colleagues and say, I have, do you want to save yourself money? Jump on this and I'm making money. But that's how easy something is. But I would have not known about that 3 or 4 years ago because I wasn't aware of it. I was too busy flying around. Stuff was passing me by. But it's only when you start to become aware. So when you slow down and start looking at the bigger picture, you realise that all these things are there. So we have another company, it's a software company, and we just make up cheap software. It's like $9.99 or $13.99 or $26.99 or whatever the case may be. So I go to a guy, I partner with him, he goes to another guy who makes a software package, they put it online, you go through a company called JD Zoo or Warrior Press, and then you put it out as a product and then people buy it. You just get a list of people, or you buy a list and you add it to it. Sometimes you can make a couple of grand, sometimes you won't. But I'm just saying that's how easy it is. People don't realise how easy it is to have a second income, to make money. But it's not about the money. For me now, it's the customers. So this is what I was saying to you earlier. Instead of focusing on the money, I focus on the customers. So if I started a whiskey business. Okay? So what I done was I said, right, I'm going to turn over X amount of whiskey. And I was going along for a long time, and nothing was happening. And then I turned it around, and I said, I'm going to have 100 customers a month with the whiskey. So I do it wholesale. So that's where outside Ireland. So we would sell it to somebody as a wholesaler, and then they would stock it and sell it. And then all of a sudden I start getting calls from people looking to buy whiskey outside Ireland. And then I went to a convention in Canada, and I was sitting there, and they were saying like, oh, would you like to sell something? And I went, no. Oh yeah, actually I do. I have whiskey. And I met 2 people that wanted to buy it. They wanted to become distributors. So that's what I'm saying. But had I have not been aware of what I was doing, like a few years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that because I was too busy. But it's only when you step back and you realise how simple it is. So I'm probably telling you too much now, my own life story, but we'll keep going anyway. So you are only limited by